Well, hello. Happy end of week 4. Week 4 was all about art space project and about learning how to submit to Canvas. So, just a quick story to you, starting with submitting things. As I was showing you, some of you know how to submit numerous things and you were very comfortable doing the assignment, and others of you are still learning. If you are tech savvy and a friend in the class may not be as tech savvy, you always want to help them. Part of being online is we have to find a way to build community. Uh, and since we can't be in the same classroom together and see what everybody's doing or see somebody's face if they're frustrated or see if somebody's done and can help other people, we kind of have to figure out how to make that work so that we can help each other. But all in all, you did a great job. And remember, when you find yourself getting frustrated, just take a deep breath and step back and try again. I'm always going to be here for you. Okay, so just know that if you need to come on Zoom with me and practice one on one or talk to me about something, I'm going to be here. I'm not just going to give you a poopy grade and be like, you can't practice that anymore. That's not my job. My job is to help you through this educational pivot, to give you the curriculum that you need for to finish up your 10th grade English year and your 11th grade English year. So in that way, you are being accelerated. But then to also help you, adjust to this online pivot and online submissions. And what I want you to keep in mind every time you get frustrated is I want you to remind yourself that everything you're learning now and everything I'm teaching you is something that you're going to need for 12th grade, for college, for work someday. So just keep that in mind that you are working towards a goal, even if it just seems like, not so much this time. You are working towards a goal. And everything that I do with you is helping you get to that goal. Okay. So you're doing a really great job at learning different types of submitting to Canvas. You're also becoming aware that sometimes there's tech glitches. And remember what I told you, that just because you hit submit and it goes through on your end, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be to my end automatically. That all has to do with the speed of transmission related to your computer and my computer and what's going on with that transmission at that time. Think of it, as I said before, as a piece of mail, that's going to be delivered to somebody's house. Your mail, you can see the post person has your mail in their hands. They're at their truck. You can see that it's there. It's been submitted, okay? But they still have to walk it to the house and hand it to you, okay? So remember what I told you is that if a teacher or a professor doesn't see your assignment right away, they're going to want to refresh. They might want to go out of the program, come back in. It might take 5 to 10 minutes sometimes. It just depends. Okay, so don't panic about that. Just communicate and check back as needed. So we worked on submission. And then the other thing that I asked you to do was to thoughtfully work on your arts based project for the National PTA's Reflections Contest. So I gave you a specific amount of time to be able to work on that in class. Now, remember, when I give you time, when I give you 40 minutes or 50 minutes or 80 minutes, you want to make sure that you are thoughtfully working on your project, that you are using your maturity to, self monitor. And there are way more distractions at home. There are way more distractions. There's distractions in school too. You know that as well as I do. But it's easier for you to just get to a point where you're like, I'm just going to get up and get something to eat, and then all of a sudden there's a TV show on, and you start watching the TV show, or somebody calls you in the family to do something. You kind of have to self monitor, and that's not an easy skill for anybody at any age. It's something that you have to work on. So just remember that when I do give you time off Zoom, because I don't want you on Zoom all the time. It's not good for your eyes. It's not good for you to sit in one place like that. So when you're doing async work, asynchronous work, meaning on your own, self-monitored, you want to make sure that you're being thoughtful and spending time working on it. It doesn't mean you can't go get up and go to the restroom or get a snack or stretch, but you do want to commit that time to whatever I've asked you to work on. Remember, I will never have you do busy work just to do busy work. Everything that I'm going through with you will help you later on in 12th grade or college. Just remember that as you work, okay? So we worked on submissions, we worked on arts based, and I also asked you to make sure that you were done with your beginning of the year test. You've done two Pearson assessments, and the second one should have been completed by now. And I also asked you to write your first discussion board. Now, I've already looked at some of the entries to the discussion board, and so I want to talk to you briefly about this, and you'll learn more as time goes on. But the discussion board isn't like a text message where you just write, "Hey, hi, what are you doing?" or "Oh, yeah, that seems really cool." That's not what a discussion board is. A discussion board is an extension of our discussions in class, okay? It might be something that I talk about with you in the Zoom meeting, or something that I want to know about you that's more in depth. That's why the first discussion board was asking about your art. Now, if you look at the discussion board, the first discussion board, not only did I give you the questions to answer, and not only did I give you how I was going to grade it, specifics of how I was going to grade it, I gave you an example of what your first discussion post should look like. I wrote my artist statement, and I showed you the length, the depth, the thoughtfulness of it. I shared some of my art, and I put in the discussion board that you could do the same. So if your discussion board just says, "Hi, I'm Fred, I do draw and paint, thanks for reading this," you're not going to get your points, okay? Because that's not a thoughtful representation of your art, and it doesn't answer the questions in detail. In college, when you do discussion boards, they're lengthy. They're usually, about this long, and not just trying to fill it out. That's just what you write. And and if it's not personal, then you're citing sources. So you're also doing citations. So we're going to be practicing all of that this year. And so if you did the discussion board and you didn't follow my example in the discussion board, then your points are probably going to be low on this first discussion board, and you're going to want to correct that. And I'm going to open it back up again through week 5 and allow you to correct as needed. Remember that your responses, I asked you to do 2 peer responses, so 2 people in class. And I'd like you to not just pick your friends each time. And I'm going to watch to see if you keep picking the same person over and over again. Not because I don't want you to be friends with somebody, but because this is about conversation. So you need to pick people that you don't always converse with and learn about them and converse with them. So when you write a comment, so when you read somebody's artist statement and you write a comment back, you can't just write, "Oh, that's cool." The whole point is that you write something thoughtful back. You're looking at like, something around a paragraph. I hate to give you like, oh, a paragraph or, oh, 15 lines, because I think that's really limiting as a writer. However, if you're just going to write something like, "Wow, that's cool," well, you're not going to get your points. So, you need to be detailed in your response as if you were having a conversation in class about something. So, your original post, your original DB, which will always be posted on a Thursday night or by Thursday night, you can post it earlier, but I'll always look for it on Thursday night. It should look like my example that I posted, okay? And then you should have 2 follow-up responses to people in the class sometime between Thursday and Sunday, okay? And that's like our weekly discussion board. Now, I won't always have one every week, but I will have them. And it's another way for me to be able to assess your writing very quickly without doing a huge assignment or a huge essay, just quick writing, because communication writing is so important. It's such a skill that you need in life. It shows such competency when you can write a well-crafted email or a well-crafted discussion board, and it's just going to add to your ability to be a better writer. Okay? So those are the highlights from week 4. I'm wishing you well, and I look forward to working with you on week 5. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.